Fighting games are fun, but we have a new tactic now where they have DLC in fighting games, and I do not think that is a good development. So we're going to look at some of the reasons why DLC in fighting games are a bad thing. Firstly, the prices. Now, we already have a problem in fighting games where the old or the more recent games cost more and you have less characters. Using Street Fighter as an example, Street Fighter 4, this is when games will cost $60, I believe. You're 50 or 60. Let's use 60. You have 25 characters in it. Street Fighter 6, 18 characters. But guess what? This is even better than Street Fighter 5 that cost 60 and only had 16 characters. So what this meant is for Street Fighter 4 that had 25 characters at launch, you are paying $2.40 US for each character. So Street Fighter 6 is for $60 still, and you have 18 characters. So $60, 18 characters, $3.33. So you're now paying $3.33 per character as opposed to $2.40 for Street Fighter 4. Now, typically, DLC characters run about $5, and that's same as the usual amount. But you notice now that even at $5, you're still paying a lot more than you would for the base game, or per character for the base game. And even that payment, that extra payment runs into another problem. If you're paying a premium for these DLC characters, it makes sense that these characters are better. If they are worse than the base game, then you just waste your money. So the devs are incentivized to make the DLC characters very powerful, and that will now impact game balance, because some people are very short-sighted. They only see, or they only view things as being a problem when it affects game balance. They can't look beyond the nose. Another problem, though, is you have to incentivize people to play or to pay for the DLC characters. One way is by making them powerful. Another way is more difficult to prove unless some documents and things got leaked, where, for example, you can have a roster of 36 characters set for the game. But they say, you know what, we're going to release 24 for full price, and then give you 2 seasons worth of 6 each. So that not just flat out exploitation, because you just could have increased the price of the game by 100% for doing absolutely nothing. Because Street Fighter is a good example here. The base game is 60. It will have 2 and it's 18 characters, not even 24. But let us, again, using our same example of 36 being the original roster, cut it to 24, sell the 24 for $60, sell the first 6 as year 1 season pass for $30, sell the other 6 for year 2 season pass, another $30. That's $120 for something that you should have sold for $60 in the first place. But it got even worse now, because now Street Fighter year 1 character pass is for $30, and it gives you 4 characters and 4,200 drive tickets. I don't know what drive tickets are, but we're looking at the characters, 4 characters for $30. All right, so let's do some calculation here. At $30, you're now paying $7.50 per character. That is a massive price increase over what each character should. And don't forget, that a lot of the time, these extra characters don't have their own stages or music. They just dropped into the game. These base characters, most of them have their own stage and own theme music. So you're already paying massively exorbitant prices for these DLC characters. And the prices also lead to another problem. If you are paying 2, 3, 4 times as much for these DLC characters, they better be powerful. They can't be weak, or else you'll be wasting your money. But the moment you start to incentivize, and even that too, you have to incentivize people to play or to use buy the DLC characters, and there are 2 ways to do it. The first is what we're discussing, where you make them just very powerful. So they get the most powerful character, pay extra money. This is on top of the already increased price to $70 now. Now, one of the excuses that people would like to make is the companies need to do this to make money, which is a very strange excuse, because the video game industry has been publishing massive growth year on year on year. And how many more things do you need to make money? Firstly, the audience has increased massively. Second, the price of the game is now increased to $70. And then third, you're adding more DLC. And fourth, the DLC is overpriced. So how exactly, at what point do you stop and say, okay, we don't need to make any more money? That's a rhetorical question. And this is why the idea of we need to do this to make money is flawed. Because technically speaking, you can do anything. If the goal is to make money, then there's no end to it. And a side note, I mentioned the game market is increasing. I find it very funny that games and so on would want to pander to a group of people who are literally antithetical to procreation and reproduction. You do realize that if you succeed in converting the majority of people to be alphabet, you won't have future customers to buy a game. All of us will get older and die off, or in some cases they get older, more things about life, depending on the job that you do, you may not have as much time to play games anymore. I'm so thankful that I have enough flexibility I can still play games. I can. I don't need to completely cut it off. But that's not the case for everyone. Everyone, at some point, you may grow up in your teens and early 20s playing games, but then, depending on what job you're in, you have to cut off that. You may just grow out of it, no longer interested. Cut out. Because, for example, I'm no longer interested in watching movies. I can't tell the last time I watched a movie. But we will eventually either lose interest or just flat out die off, and then you're going to need new people to replace us. So when you convert and support this lifestyle that promotes infertility or infertile unions, you're killing off your potential customer base. In addition to all the other issues of people waiting later to have children and the more people not having children, some of these industries, if they don't have a massive change, are going to run into very, very strange problems in the next, say, 20 to 30 years. Once upon a time, businesses used to think very, very long term. Now look as if they're running this thing like a patty shop. But anyway. So that's my thing. And I don't think DLC... Well, to be fair, I don't like DLC, period, full stop. Ever since it was first being pushed as horse armor back in Bethesda, it was Oblivion, I think. I saw that this was not good because it only enables the worst anti-consumer practices against gamers.